All right, guys, we're into the second part of our marketing. Okay, we already talked about what you were going to put in your marketing information for those inspirational messages to catch people's attention. We talked about which materials you're actually going to use to deliver those messages. And now I want you to consider some things. If you did have some physical things like flyers and postcards, let's talk about where you're going to distribute those. Okay, where are you going to drop these things off? And one of the reasons why we talked about getting to know who our customer is because we need to know where they are. If you're telling yourself that you're going to create some flyers to hang around locally, you need to consider where these people at. If they're mothers, should you be contacting daycares, or maybe not just small in-home daycares, but actual facilities or preschool facilities, places where mothers will be. Is it someone who is into health and fitness? If it is, should you be partnering with local places like yoga studios or gyms to see if they have a board where you can hang a flyer? Get creative. Whatever it is that pertains to your business, that is location. If you're going to do that part of it, figure out where you can be so that you can meet your customer where they are. Okay, and get creative. Don't allow yourself to just be like every other person. If you're going to go to an office somewhere, maybe bring some snacks. People love snacks, right? The gatekeepers. Bring something like, I don't know, a basket of snacks with something with your business information, and ask them if it's okay if you leave these here. There are a lot of places that let you leave a stack of business cards by the register, so make sure you always have some on you. And you never know. Some people are very open about that. Like, you'll go out there and see a bunch of them because they want to support other small businesses. So just be prepared for stuff like that. Also, networking events. These can be in your local town, they can be out of town. You can travel to big cities to go to them when they have them, but be where your customers are. Again, it's okay for you to go to events in your industry so that you can sharpen your skills, okay? I'm not telling you not to do that, but I want you to twist slightly and think about where your customers are. It's one thing to go to a convention full of other virtual assistants, right, or other social media marketers, because maybe they might want to offboard some of their work, right? But you want to go to the events that your customers are going to be at. Don't just think about going to places where other people like you are, or other people who do what you do. That's not necessarily what you want to aim for, right? Let's say your clients are tax professionals, okay? People who do like bookkeeping. You want to go to maybe a bookkeeping event and then circulate around there after whatever talks they have, and tell people, hey, I'm a virtual assistant for bookkeepers. So I just wanted to make sure if you need, this off your hand or that off your hand, this is what I do. Or I'm a social media marketer for bookkeepers or for truckers. Then go to a trucking event. Like, try to understand, again, this is all about meeting your customer where they are. So you don't want to go to the event just to hang out with people like you. It is good for networking because somebody else might be like, oh, well, I couldn't take on any more clients. I met you at this event. I know that you do what I do, and I've been following you. I know what knowledge you have, so I'm going to pass this person to you. You can get in touch with them and see if you can help them. That's one thing, right? But for your consistent strategy, I want you to always be thinking about where are your customers so that you can be where they are. And that includes these events that you would go to. Um, Hair shows are common, and nail expos. So if your clients are people who are owning salons and nail shops, then you need to go and be there so that you can connect with those people, okay? Don't be afraid to be there. You're a part of that industry, right? Just another part of it, the administrative side, online side, right? Or the marketing side. Whatever it is that you do for your service business. If you're a coach for people who want to start, what is something? Who want to start daycares, right? They have those now too. I see those all the time. With conventions and people who teach people how to start preschools and daycares and things like that. Go there so that you can say, hey, this is what I help people do. So if you have a blocked mindset about doing that, I can help you break through that. I've owned several of them, and now I'm just doing this part of it, just coaching other people to do it because maybe it was taxing on your body or whatever, so you can't do it anymore, but you want to help other people to be successful in doing it. Go to where these people are, okay? You can also attend online events. That's something that when the pandemic hit, that's a lot of things that people were doing. They were having to bring their things online. So even though there were already some people doing it, especially places like meetup.com, there are all types of events that you can see on in different Facebook groups that you may want to be a part of. And as a marketing strategy, it would be very beneficial for you if you're on Facebook to join some of these groups. Again, not just other VA groups or other coaches groups. Go to the groups of where your customers are. If you are going to be someone who helps people who travel, you're either a travel agent or whatever. Join the groups of people who are traveling, single women travel, or black people travel, or Muslims travel, whatever it is. Go into those groups so that you can connect with other people when they're like, hey, have you been to, this country or that country, or have you tried to rent an RV to go cross country? You can be right there. You can say, you know what? I'm a person who helps people, create their travel plans. I have relationships with people who own, RV companies in this state, that one, and that one. Where are you located? Maybe I can assist you with that. You want to be where they are. So join those groups. See those conversations. This is great market research for you as a business owner because you can see what are the questions people have. What gaps can I fill? What services might I want to offer? We came up with those earlier, but now after seeing some questions that people were throwing out there, maybe now you want to offer a different service because you feel like, okay, this is going to, get me more reception because a lot of people want this thing. You're always going to be tweaking and changing things. So don't ever set everything up and then think that it has to be set in stone, okay? Be flexible so that you can always be able to change with the times and keep up and be successful, all right? Another thing here that I want you to consider. There are podcasts, right? And YouTube channels, Facebook groups. We just talked about that, right? Places where your target audience is. So I want you to, think about these people who already have the audience of the customers that you're looking for. So let's say, again, you're a coach, right? Like we talked about, you want to coach people into starting daycares, right? There are people who already have these audiences. So let's say you wanted to start a preschool. There's a lady, gosh, I can't remember her name, but let's start a preschool. I think that's the name of it. She's already got Facebook groups with thousands of people there, right? So these are the people that you want to connect with. You need to talk to her and ask her, okay, how much is it going to cost me to get, a little bit of ad time in front of your audience, and come up with something good for when it is time for you to go in front of them and present. And when you do that, don't just sell your service. Come up with some sort of angle to what their problem is and figure out how you can help them, give them some value, and then at the end of it say, but if you need help, then I have a service that helps you do X, Y, and Z. It is okay to promote yourself, but let the bulk of it be you educating. Remember that in marketing, 70-30. 70% should always be about you giving, okay? Giving. Entertaining people, informing people, teaching people, and then let that other 30% be your promotion and your sales, okay? So I want you to make a list here. I have a section for that in the workbook and also in the app where you're going to share that with me. Once you've done your research, who are these people who are podcasters that you can approach to do a guest appearance? Who are people that are YouTubers? Who are people that have Facebook groups? If you're into trucking and you want to be a trucking dispatcher, who has a group of truckers? A group for owner-operators specifically, people who don't work for a company, but they have their own company. Who has that group that has thousands and thousands of active followers? Ask these people for their statistics, okay? Don't look at people who just have big numbers. Tell them you want to see some reports. You want to see what are their stats of the active users, because you don't want to put your money into something that was just, a smoke screen. That's why I told you same thing. It's not about the numbers. It's about the quality of the people. You may see a group that only has 100 people, right? And to you, it's like, oh, that's not a lot. But if they have 100% engagement on those 100 people, that's better than somebody who has 5,000 and only 25 people are active, right? So ask to see this information if you're willing to pay somebody to do something like that. They have the statistics. Everybody using Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, whatever, everybody has their own reports that they get. So I want you to fill in the blanks there and see who can you reach out to and contact about And some of these people, you may not even have to pay them. Some people are looking for guests. I see it all the time. People are saying, hey, who's starting a business? Who's doing this? Who wants to be a new coach? Who wants to do that? Because I just started this podcast and I need people to interview. This is excellent promo for you. Look for these people. There's a whole a Facebook group about bartering where people have services for businesses that they're starting, and they're bartering with other people to, okay, let me do this service for you in exchange for a testimonial, or let me be on your podcast and then I'll let you be on mine. Like, people are networking out here. Go be a part of that movement so that you can get yourself out there. Ask yourself, when you're ready to run ads, what's your budget going to be when you're ready? You need to do some information about how that works if you're not familiar with it, or do some research on people who run ads so that you can pay the right person to do that for you, okay? Based on the information that we came up with about who our client is, who our target audience is, write down some keywords that you may be able to use in those ads. Or if you're writing, what are some keywords that you want to use to attract people? And then what are some of their interest groups? So go ahead and fill in that information and get your mind in the right place of being where your customer is, okay? I'll see you in the next section.